I'm 81 years old, and I live in a house filled with things I once prayed for. But every night, it's silent. Because the people I love the most aren't here anymore. I'm sitting at my kitchen table as I record this. The same oak table I bought in 1992 when money finally stopped being a problem. The house is clean, too clean. No fingerprints on the fridge, no shoes by the door. People look at my life and say I did well. A long career, financial security, comfort. But comfort is a poor substitute for company, and success doesn't keep you warm when the nights get long. Let me tell you how I got here. The past. When I thought I knew what mattered, I was born in 1944. By the time I was 25, I had already decided who I was going to be, or at least who I thought I needed to be. I grew up watching my father come home exhausted every night, oil-stained hands, bent shoulders. He never complained, but I saw the quiet disappointment in his eyes when bills piled up on the counter. I told myself I'd never live like that. I would build something. I would be secure. I would be someone. In 1968, I married Sarah. She was 22, with a laugh that filled rooms before she ever did. She smelled like lavender and soap, and she believed in me more than I believed in myself. We lived in a tiny apartment with thin walls. I could hear the neighbor's radio through the plaster at night. We didn't have much, but Sarah used to say, "We have enough." I didn't agree, not yet. Our son was born in 1971. I remember holding him and feeling terrified, not of love, but of responsibility. I promised him silently that I would give him everything. What I didn't realize was that everything meant something very different to a child. By the late 70s, my career took off. Long hours, promotions, business trips. I started missing dinners, then birthdays, then whole weeks at a time. Sarah would say gently, "Do you have to go again?" And I'd answer, "This is for us." I truly believed that. The turning point, the choice I kept making. There wasn't one single moment, no dramatic explosion, just thousands of small decisions, all pointing in the same direction. It was 1985 when things really changed. I was offered a position that doubled my salary. The catch was travel, constant travel. Sarah sat across from me at this same table. She traced a crack in the wood with her finger. "I feel like I'm raising him alone," she said quietly. I remember feeling irritated, not angry, just inconvenienced. I said, "Do you want us to struggle again?" She looked up at me then. Her eyes weren't accusing, they were tired. "I want us," she said. I nodded, and I took the job anyway. I told myself it was temporary, just a few years, just until we were comfortable. But comfort kept moving further away. My son stopped asking if I'd be home. He stopped waiting up. When I was home, I was distracted, reading reports, answering calls, planning the next step. I remember once, he must have been about 12. He knocked on my office door. "Dad, can you help me with this?" I said without looking up. "Not now, buddy." When I finally came out, the house was quiet. He'd gone to bed. I don't remember what I was working on that night, but I remember that door closing. The consequences, when the silence arrived. Time doesn't warn you. It just keeps moving. My son left for college in 1989. We shook hands instead of hugging. I told myself that meant I'd raised him to be strong. Sarah and I became polite strangers. We talked about groceries, schedules, weather. One night, she said, "I don't think you see me anymore." I wanted to argue, but I couldn't find the words. She moved out 2 years later. No shouting, no lawyers fighting, just boxes and empty closets. The house felt bigger after that. Too big. I threw myself deeper into work. What else was I supposed to do? Years passed. Retirement came quietly, no applause, just a small party and a watch I never wear. That's when it hit me. I woke up one morning with nowhere to be, no calls, no meetings, no one waiting for me at home. I tried calling my son, straight to voicemail. Weeks later, he called back. We spoke for 8 minutes. 8 polite minutes. I realized then I had raised a man who didn't know me. Sarah remarried. I saw the announcement through a mutual friend. She looked happy, genuinely happy. I sat alone that night, surrounded by the proof of a life well-funded and poorly lived. The wisdom, what I know at 81, I'm 81 now. My hands shake when I pour coffee. The stairs are harder than they used to be. I have savings I'll never spend, rooms no one uses, time I can't give back. Here's the truth no one tells you when you're young. People don't wait forever. Children grow around your absence. Spouses learn how to breathe without you. You think you're building a future, but sometimes you're just postponing love. I used to believe providing was the same as being present. It isn't. I thought I was being responsible. But responsibility without connection is just distance with good intentions. If I could sit across from my younger self at this table, I wouldn't yell, I wouldn't lecture. I'd just say, they won't remember the money. They'll remember if you were there. The cruelest part is this. I didn't lose my family in a tragedy. I lost them one late night at a time. And now, when I hear laughter outside my window, it doesn't belong to me. If you're listening to this and thinking, this isn't me, that's what I thought too. You still have time. I don't. Call someone you love. Sit at the table a little longer. Close the laptop. Don't wait until your house is full of things and empty of people. If this story stayed with you, let it stay long enough to change something. There's more truth where this came from, for those willing to listen.